In three, a two, uno. Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing the Street Geek Nerd Soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of, that's right, you best believe it, Doppio Dope. We chilling. It's not just by myself. I'm glad because, see, it's been a while. I haven't had the opportunity, if you will, to introduce this gentleman in quite some time. I haven't had the opportunity, all right, to introduce this young man in months. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Months.
Nope. Nope.
I present to you World Federation welterweight champion, lightweight champion, middle lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, all them champions. All right. I would also like to introduce to you the man who not only has one, not two, not three, but 4 Grammys for his debut album entitled Clement. Also, Times Man of the Year, 2019 and 20, and also gold medalist. All right. Winter Olympics, not only for the snowboard halfpipe, but also for curling. My man, Clement Bryant, I present to you.
You picked up on the timing, and again, you lied to the people. Why do you got me sounding like Michael Shannon as Zod in Man of Steel? And now I have no people. You are taking that. No, you. That's what you be doing. Okay, we got to make this short and sweet, but let's get hopping. Let's get it cracking lacking because I think we have some important stuff to discuss.
All right, cool. So let's go and get into a young man who's just trying to have a good Christmas. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to mind his business. That's right. Hawkeye. The Hawkeye trailer dropped, to what I would say a pretty decent amount of fanfare. Clement, what are your thoughts on the trailer right now?
No, I thought it was everything. The tone is pretty much exactly what I expected and what I think it needs to be, because they're basing what it seems like very much a lot of its DNA is based off Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. Pretty much one of the best runs of Hawkeye that you'll ever read.
Okay.
Matt Fraction and David Aja, and that the tone of what I imagine the comic book to be is really on point here. And they've managed to kind of bring in some of those elements from that run into what it seems like the show is going to be. So I'm really excited to see how they take that on. And, Haley Steinfeld, I've been a fan of Haley for a long time. And I think she was the only person when they said they were bringing up, Kate Bishop into the MCU, it was like Haley Steinfeld, perfect one. And it's surprisingly big. So,
yeah. I give you that. When I heard Kate Bishop, I didn't think of Haley. I didn't really have thoughts for anyone. And shouts to everybody who's in here in the chat. We got Blurtish in the chat. As you can see, I've put the pictures of another young lady that needs her own show or movie. You know what I'm saying? We probably going to get to it in the future, but I'm just saying, I'm just keeping your minds fresh on the young lady that needs to be seen. But I don't know if I had Haley in mind, but I like her as an actress. She hasn't gotten into no dumb stuff. She seems relatively cool. And I enjoyed her in Bumblebee a whole lot. So I'm like, sure, cool. I think she's fine. And then, of course, the tone of the trailer, I had no idea what to expect because I was just like, Hawkeye. I mean, I kind of care, but I also kind of don't care.
Yeah.
But there's something funny about a guy that just wants to have a good vacation. It's like something that's like, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have a great Christmas. Don't worry about it. Famous last words.
But also, the vibe
like, what's he
is
saying? Oh, it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's not going to be fine.
But like the vibe was very much like a buddy cop vibe. and it's very interesting because I picked up on this, and as soon as it picked up on it, it started trending. But it's very much in the vein of like Shane Black, like Lethal Weapon days. It's
Oh yeah,
very
where it's
much
always it's around Christmas.
Christmas. Exactly. So like I like that it's kind of like this Shane Black kind of noir flick a little bit. There's a little bit of that with mixed with the Children of Fraction run. And even like some people have been picking it up in the comics, Hawkeye is deaf. And in the comics, if you look at it closely, we don't know if they're hearing it or not, but he has something in his ear.
Ah, okay.
That's also a really important detail. But like, I like how they're kind of melding all these elements together, and I really think it's going to be a really good thing moving forward. And like, we're talking about the Young Avengers now that we have Kate Bishop, it's kind of like confirmed that they're kind of sort of moving towards this point of setting them up.
And it's cool to see this might be the first Avenger where we see kind of a passing of the torch, or well, I'm guessing. I assume you're bringing her in, and you've also mentioned the other, Young Avengers. It seems like we're going to be starting to see some torch passing, which I'm definitely down for. I'm down for that kind of like heroic history that would happen in real life, I assume. You know what I'm saying? So I dig it. Keith from Blurtish said it's a lot like those old 80s movies and travel movies.
Yeah.
So the thing that threw me was, I was like, hold on. There's a stage play called Rogers. Like, oh, what? Or like a musical. I was like, what?
It will be hilarious if Marvel Studios decided to do a musical as Rogers the musical. That would be absolutely hilarious, and I would be the first person in line to watch it.
But if they drop that joint on Disney Plus, just like that Hamilton, even if it was only like 15 minutes long, it would still be fun just to be like, wow, this is like y'all really like went layers deep on this one.
A little bit, but I mean, you bring up a good point because even the synopsis says former Avenger Clint Barton, which is it's like they straight up call it out. So I was like, oh wow, that's a change. So I think it would be cool to have Young Avengers, because also I think the next Young Avenger that we get, well, she's not really a Young Avenger, but like she's kind of in that same realm as America Chavez.
Yeah, they're gonna make her one. For MCU, it makes sense for her to make her one.
Right.
And since only thing I know about America Chavez is that she's like super strong and she can fly. I don't know anything else about it. But
and she's so that's the other thing of it too. But
she's what? I think what else can she do?
She's from another universe too.
Oh,
from the universe.
That helps with the multiverse all tie in it. So yeah.
So I think it'll be good. I think, and also there's other pieces of Hawkeye, like Florence Pugh's going to be in it.
Okay.
Which, if anybody saw the post-credit scene from Black Widow, I'm not going to spoil it. That's a direct tie-in. Hold up. Is it on Disney Plus not to pay for yet? Is it free on Disney Plus yet? I know. I think it came out on DVD and Blu-ray today. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I won't spoil it because it's not on Disney Plus yet. Once it's free for y'all to see, then I'll spoil it. Even though I'm pretty sure you've all seen it on YouTube in some form anyway. But I think Florence Pugh will be in there, and that'll iron out all the things. But Antoine Allen said Hawkeye gave me a lot of Die Hard vibes, and that's cool. Yeah, I do like that. Like, yo, man, I'm too old for this. Like, I honestly just told my daughter. My daughter was like, "Is everything okay?" Don't look. It'll be fine. All right, Christmas is gonna be great.
Don't worry about it.
Christmas is gonna be awesome.
Right. So I'm looking forward to seeing this movie or a series, and I think like there's other rumors that are happening. Like there's a big rumor going around that Vincent D'Onofrio is coming back as Kingpin.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Daredevil talk around this trailer.
Yeah. For me, I have a close affiliation with a close thing at the heart for the Netflix Marvel show. So like, I would love if they bring back D'Onofrio, and like also, there's rumors of Charlie Cox coming back from Daredevil for Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's like, if they're
If
going
that
to
happens, that could be real cool for them to lay, especially the groundwork for their television series, because you can get a lot of those street level guys in there and then crisscross every now and then into the films.
yeah,
Um, because there are larger tie-ins that kind of bring street level people into play from time to time. Like,
right,
kind of like New Avengers, or you might have something like maybe like Secret Wars or something like Old Man Logan, where there's like larger implications, but then there's like
right,
the street level guys in there too. It's like, so that could be cool. That could be cool.
yeah,
And I'm down
yeah,
for it. I think all of acting wise, I enjoyed a good, say like 94% of Netflix Marvel. I know the
right.
money wasn't super there all the time, but as far as like the actors giving it their all and kind of like pouring themselves into these roles, I think they did an awesome job. Sans a few. And I know we all know who those few are, so we don't have to like lament over
I mean,
it.
do we know? Do we know? But anyways,
I mean, well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like so, like I'm not saying one thing or another, but I would love for that to happen because you would get Hawkeye and Spider-Man back to back.
Mm.
Think about it. Hawkeye comes on November 24th. Spider-Man drops on December 17th.
Huh. It's not bad.
That would be super. That would be killer. That would be
It's
killer.
not bad. And now Blurted says they're not using none of the Netflix groundwork, even if it's the same actors from what I read. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, but I can see them probably playing the characters the same way.
I mean, you have the
I
multiverse.
don't see you getting Vincent D'Onofrio and then telling him to play like a jokey version of like, or a hilarious version of Kingpin. I think you probably cut the camera away a little more than Netflix did, but
Yeah.
I figure you get that actor because of the intensity he brought to that role. Like,
And if we're being honest, both Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio are too big to ignore to bring in new actors. They're too big and established to bring in new actors. Like, say what you could say. You could say what you want to say about Finn Jones as Iron Fist. Said it, if you want to bring back, if they want to move forward with Iron Fist. Luke, I'm kind of like, I like what Coulter did with Luke, but I know some people didn't. But I think if the four people that you keep, it's Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Kristen, and John Bernthal. Those are the four people that you keep. Luke, is in a weird between place, and then Finn is like,
yeah. If it was me, I keep who you're talking about. Daredevil, Kingpin, Punisher. Jessica, even though she's not super duper, I don't see where she kind of fits right now, but I'd keep her.
I don't see where she fits either.
Luke Cage, yes, because I enjoy Luke Cage. Misty Knight and what is the girl's name? Iron Fist. The girl that basically did everything in Iron Fist while Iron Fist was being whacked. Colleen Wing, thank you. I keep them. And just be like, oh, some multiverse stuff happened. Wow, these people are here. And then I'm like, and then I just like keep everybody else away.
But here's the thing.
Finn be like, no one called me. You're not getting a call. No.
But it's like the multiverse is the perfect excuse for them to sidestep everything that Jeff Loeb did with Netflix Marvel and bring back those characters. So those people are variants now. They're variants. Cool. They still exist. They're still
okay,
in quote unquote, but you don't bring them back. You ignore everything that you did there, and you establish them as new variants.
Word. Oh, here come Blurtish. Need a new Luke Cage. Hateration.
Well, I mean,
no, I'm just playing.
I mean, who would you get? Like, I think if he wasn't doing The Boys, Laz Alonso would be a good Luke Cage.
I'm down with him.
Like
Woody, it's tough, man. I'm trying to think of some other guys that some other guys that are newer that kind of have the muscular. Not saying that he has to be the Hulk, but he has to be
I
have a
mean,
decent size. He needs to be swole-ish at least.
one of the first
And
people that comes to mind would be
who?
Trevante Rhodes.
Trevante Rhodes, if he down to go bald, that's not. I've always thought he was dope. So
I mean, Trevante
yeah,
is like, he brings it. He has
yeah,
that intensity, but he has that kind of cool factor that you need to play Luke, right? So Trevante would
yeah.
be a good choice.
I'm down.
Um,
I'm down. I'm definitely down for that. Like
yeah,
Trevante Rhodes is dope. Like it. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. And he needs some shine because I feel like Hollywood's getting ready to start recycling the same brothers. Um,
yeah,
it's like
that's true.
come
But
on, we need to get Trevante Rhodes up in here. That'll be cool. And I think that works. That works because he's
yeah,
already kind of swole-ish. He's not crazy swole, but he's swole enough. You know what I'm saying?
right. But yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they did bring back Venafrio and Charlie Cox, I think that would be super cool. But also, I'm not hedging. I'm not hanging my hat on it happening. Same thing with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming back from Home No Way Home. I'm kind of like, even though that we have hints of Green Goblin coming back, we got Electro coming back, it's obviously confirmed that we have Doc Ock coming back. I'm waiting to see if that happens or not, because that's the one question mark to see if they're going to pull that off.
I honestly don't care about them anymore. And I know. Before I say this, I understand there's people that want to see him, but I would much rather something be going on where maybe he can't get over here. He meaning Peter Parker, our Peter Parker, can't get over there, and it's too far to reach or whatever. And then someone else thwips in and is like, oh, Miles is up in there? And like, so we ain't got to do no origin story. We ain't got to do any of that. Look, we're just in this universe. Miles is already here. Miles has already been doing his thing. He stepped up. We can skip all that mess. Look, you know who Miles is because you at least saw the Spider-Verse, so you know the groundwork of the character. Not saying it's the same one, just you know that. Actually, if you wanted to, you could make it the same character, but you know what I'm saying? You got the groundworks. They know who Miles is. Just have him come in and like maybe like cold cock, like, I don't know, Rhino or something, and be like, hey man, you need some help, and then just let it go. And just don't try to be like, well, did you know back in the day, Miles Morales, he was a young kid and he was smart. And then he had some trials and tribulations. No, skip that. All right. It's multiverse. All right. It's just getting crazy. All right. Just let it get crazy and let it be cool. And then we can see the black and red suit, which is the dopest suit. It's like, all right, it's like the black and red suit, then Miguel's suit, then the black and white suit. I think those are the hottest suits. But anyway, back to, that's some kind of multiverse stuff I would like to see. Or maybe he lands in one, and the reason he receives that help is because he lands in a multiverse where the Sinister Six already exists, and they've already basically killed the regular Peter Parker. That's why Miles is around, and they're rampaging. And he could be like, yo, who are all these people? And then, Miles comes in like, yo, look, hey, let's do this. And that could be cool. Now, I don't know how you would keep that under wraps. But if anyone could do it, it could be Disney. but just Toby and Andrew Garfield, I feel like they've had their time. And I'm just not interested in seeing three Peters in a movie. I'm just not.
See, I get it.
Just not. Maybe a situation if one of the Peters was like super old, like maybe if one of the Peters was like, say, getting ready to be 70 or something like that, and just drop some sage advice on him or something, and then another Peter was one that like threw the suit in the trash can and never ever took it back out, and you could see the differences of how heroism weighed on them or something. But outside of that, I'm not interested in seeing three Peters just for the sake of it. I'm really not. Like I'm like, look, we've gotten like 165 Peter Parker movies, TV shows, stories, cartoons, something. All right, Smiles time. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, Smiles time.
I mean, here's the
I
thing.
rest my case.
I want to see
I
Miles
rest.
touch the
No.
next guy, but even if you bring Marvel into live action or Miles into live action, you still have to explain who he is because we know who he is. Like telling you, we know who he is, but the general audience who don't follow Marvel like that are gonna be like, wait, who's this guy in this red and black suit, and why does he look like Spider-Man? So like,
Kinda, but now that we see how the TV shows have been working with just like going and like not explaining pretty much anything, I think we might be past that.
But it's just now that the TV shows are being able to do that. Because remember, we've only had Falcon, Wanda, What If, and Loki. We've only had 4 shows in a year of a lot of Marvel, DC, boys. It's been like, my point is, there's a ton of media out there. And even though that people are still hip to it, it's cool to be a nerd. People are liking Marvel, they're liking DC, they're liking all this stuff. You still have the general audience that don't follow it like that. They'll be like, why is this cat looking like Spider-Man? So like, there's still like a general audience.
Even after Spider-Verse last year? I mean, not last year, year before last?
Yeah. No, wait.
19, right? 18?
I think it was 8. Was it 18?
Yeah. Even with Spider-Verse coming out in 18, like
I think it was 18.
I think enough people that would buy tickets to come see this would know. And if not, the boyfriend or girlfriend that brought them would be like, oh, that's Miles Morales. I'll tell you later. Don't worry about it.
And there's ways to do it. Here's the thing. If they did bring in the new Spider-Man game that they just announced last week, the Spider-Man 2 video game.
Oh, yeah, that we're going to talk about in a second, but yeah.
Yeah, so you got that, but then you also use Spider-Verse. You build that into the marketing and be like, here's your introduction to Miles Morales. And you also give people a discount for Marvel Unlimited, too, to watch all of, or like watch all the comic books that Miles is a part of. So you're talking about Civil War 2, you're talking his initial run, you're talking Miss Marvel, all of the runs that he was a part of, you do a discount where you give a discount. Or you give like a subscription rate, lower rate, being like, okay, read everything about Miles Morales. That's ways you can do it, but there's still going to be general audience members who are like, who's this cat looking like Spider-Man in a red and black suit? So it's like, my whole point is, I think there's a way to do it. Like the way that they did it in an Incredible Hulk in the introduction credits, where they showed the whole basic of Bruce Banner. They
did the real quick version.
And so by the time that you got into it, and you watch the credits closely, they pretty much do the whole origin story and they get right into it. Now, I know people have different opinions about what Incredible Hulk was, but on the general, Incredible Hulk was a solid movie.
I enjoyed it. The only thing
it was dope.
I've never been a fan of what's the girl's name? Played his girlfriend. Liv Tyler. I've always thought she was kind of just like okay. Like I felt like anyone, the job that she did in that movie, I felt like they could have grabbed anyone off the street to do the same amount of work or the same amount of emotional weight. But outside of that, I thought the movie was solid. I like especially. That movie has one of the illest parts when he kicks, Abomination? Well, he's not Abomination at the time. He's just a human. Gromsky or whatever?
Blonsky, yeah.
When he kicks him into that tree, yo, he kicked that man's soul out of him.
That was like, your soul is mine, Shang Tsung. It was like, that's exactly what it was like. But here's the thing: Incredible Hulk
out of him,
and also Incredible Hulk. I wish there were things that they followed up on, and maybe they'll do it in She-Hulk. But like the leader, they introduced the leader in that movie. Yeah.
So the leader is another villain thread you could always pull.
You can bring back
later on in the future.
They're bringing back a nomination for anybody that saw Shang-Chi. Who's gonna watch? She's gonna be back in She-Hulk. I think I'm liking how they're kind of going back into the well and bringing back and continuing the storylines that they kind of left early on in phase 1 and phase 2 and kind of continuing that. But yeah, I think on the regular, bringing it back to Hawkeye, I think like Hawkeye's they're going to be this one thing that everyone's kind of like, the vibe that I've heard of Hawkeye is people are like, Hawkeye, why do I care? And then you watch the trailer, you're like, okay, now I understand why.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I can do this. It's, you know what I'm saying? It has like It has that Die Hard vibe, and then I generally enjoy those types of shows or movies where it's like everything's gonna be fine. We have nothing to worry about.
Right.
It's like,
So
Dad, is everything okay? Oh, girl, please look, we're gonna have a great Christmas. All right, you just wait. It's gonna be awesome. And then next thing you know, he's swinging from like a zip line from a building that's like blowing up. Like it's not gonna be an awesome Christmas. It's gonna be it's gonna be a bad Christmas.
Brian in the chat says Universal owns the rights to Hulk. They do still own the rights to Hulk, but Marvel can still use him as long as he's in a group setting. So he's like an Avenger movie, a group setting. Okay. I think that's like the barrier, because like remember they tried to make Planet Hulk before they made Ragnarok. Universal said no, and what did they do? They implemented pieces of Planet Hulk into Ragnarok.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I get why they did it because it makes sense afterwards watching the movie, but then you're like, we kind of ruined any possibility for Planet Hulk in the future. But with that, even with that being said, you're never going to get it because Universal is not going to let it go unless they haven't made any Hulk movies. When does that time out? When does that run out? Like how long did they buy those rights for?
I don't know when it times out. If my vibe about it is similar to the Sony deal, because Sony's not letting go of Spider-Man at all.
But they're also making movies though.
They are,
but they're actually making movies and video games. Actually, if you go for storylines, especially for some of those amazing Spider-Man, some of their video game stories are better than the actual movie. But anyway,
I mean, but also Sony's making movies. But they're still
making stuff.
Why are they making movies though?
Because they gotta keep it.
Yeah. Because also they have. We're talking about just main Spider-Man. They're making things with Marvel, but also they've got their Spider-Man universe, Morbius,
yeah.
Then, they have the Spider-Woman thing happening with Amazon, I think, or is it a film? There's a Silk. It's Silk with Amazon. Silk is coming with
really?
Amazon. Yes. You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear. I'm not mad at a Silk show.
Silk is happening with Amazon. And then
I'm not really against the Silk show. I think Silk is a character. I think Silk is a character that makes a lot of sense for Sony because she's
right.
It's different enough, but it's also recognizable enough. Right. Same with like a Gwen Stacy. Like you look at the uniform and you're like, oh, okay, this is a Spider-Man thing, right? Like it's not, it's like so.
Spider-Gwen. Or Ghost Spider.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen, yeah. Because Gwen Stacy, just regular Gwen Stacy, she ain't did nothing. But Spider-Gwen, Spider-Gwen, yeah. Like you kind of like just see the uniform and you're like, oh, this is Spider-Man thing? And somebody be like, yeah. And they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. So you got Venom coming. I'm interested to see how this plays out as a PG-13 offering with Carnage in it. But I will say, the trailer for me, pardon me, the trailer for me is better than the whole first Venom movie. I mean, so that's at least a plus for me. Maybe if the movie comes through.
You know me, I'm not gonna down talk anything. But
I fell asleep on that joint twice, and I woke up to a bad Eminem song.
I'm not even gonna get into the song. Anyways,
Venom, go get him.
Anyways, but yeah, so Silk, I can't remember if it's gonna be connected to the larger universe, but so they got Silk and Amazon, and then the rumor is that Olivia Wilde's doing something Spider-Woman related. So like
Spider-Woman's never really been that dope.
I don't know if it's Spider-Woman for sure. I don't even know if they confirmed it, but the rumor is supposed to be something Jessica Drew related, but who knows what that's gonna look like. So I think it's something. It's either Spider. I can't remember the old details, but I know there's rumors of her being involved with Spider-Man, and then also Silver and Black is probably still on the table somewhere. So like
that'll never. That thing seems like it'll be in development turmoil forever.
I'm just saying. But so that's why they're still making stuff because they saw that Marvel did it right. and now they have that piece of mind because now that they own all the Spider-Man rights. So I think it's very interesting that they're starting to bring all this stuff in, and I don't know, man. It's like, I wonder if it's gonna get to a point where there's so many superhero stuff in the marketplace that people are tired of superhero stuff, right?
I don't think that'll ever happen.
I hope not. But this year, even like, I'm like, dude, we had a lot of Marvel this year. You know what I mean? And I think it's like mostly because of the pandemic, but it's also been.
But it's so different. Like, okay,
yeah,
Black what is it? Black Widow comes out. That's a movie that should have came out years and years and years ago. But Black Widow, that serviced kind of like this kind of past situation flashback thing.
And I like it.
Then you got Scarlet Witch, which is a whole different energy from Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Very different energy. And then Loki comes out, and that's like so it's like superheroes, but not everyone is like super, you know, cape and tights kind of thing. Because like you had Scarlet Witch, like, I mean, she powered up like what at the end? Like you didn't really see her running around and like fighting Ultron or something like that. Like, so I think we can have enough properties because they're so different from one another. That I think it'll be okay. No different than like, you know, horror movies or any other genre, you know what I'm saying? As long as they're different enough. Now, of course, you could get in a situation where people say they were tired of zombies, but zombie stuff still kept making money. So somebody was watching it. So, you know, it's one of those things, as long as superheroes, which are, I'd say, dynamic enough to be different in each offering, I think they'll be fine. As long as they don't end up telling the same story over and again, like, I have a cape on and I've got to save people. I have a cape on and I've got to save people. You know, Marvel's done a good job of switching it up. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
I haven't liked everything, but they have done a good job of switching it up.
And that's the thing. And I guess I was going to bring it back to my point about Miles, because like, we're talking about, I think it was 2018 that Spider-Verse came out. Like, that felt like that was yesterday it came out, right? That felt like that came out like last week.
Especially as much as NERDSoul likes to watch it. So I know
it's like, I still think that you have to, regardless of if they bring him in live action or not, you still have to reintroduce him at some point for just like a little being like, this is Miles Morales. If you do the alternate universe thing where he is from the multiverse, where he's like from another Earth, you could do that. You could just be like, oh, here's an exchange student, or like, here's someone from, you know, across New York or something like, and bring in, it's like, oh, this is Miles Morales. True. You could do that, but also that's Cho's storyline. There's a lot of things that you can do. So I'm just saying, like, I still think you have to reintroduce him in a way, but we talk about Miles specifically for that Spider-Man 2 video game. That looks fine.
So with that, let's go in and transition over to the video game side of Marvel, who's kind of been showing out, you know what I'm saying? Lately, there's been some reveal trailers. There's been some kind of more, maybe not reveal, but like, I don't know, teaser trailer-ish. And Spider-Man 2 had its trailer. Now we've gotten Spider-Man, which was Peter Parker. And I love how they did it, because I'm watching the story mode with my son, and I'm like, wow, this is a long game, but it makes sense because they're literally using the first game as sort of like this movie that sets up their whole world. So like, dude fights like mad different people. They set up like the cops, the raft. They set up like, you know, they set up like Doc Ock and like Electro, like everyone's in this game. Then they got Spider-Man Miles Morales, and because Miles Morales is introduced in the first Spider-Man, and then he goes off on his adventure. And now we got Spider-Man 2, which is linking both of them up, and of course introducing Venom.
Wait. You buried the lead.
And what?
Voiced by Tony Todd.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's not bury the lead there, because that's important.
That's a very good pick.
And also, like, we talk about these video games. these video games are emotional AF, man, right? Like,
Yes.
I cried at the end of the Spider-Man 1 video game. Like,
That joint is
spoilers.
they're doing a
Spoilers
great
for
job.
Spider-Man game. That, bro, I legit finished that game at like 2 a.m. one weekend. And I was up, and I don't stay up until 2 a.m. I was like bawling, and my girlfriend comes in another room. She's like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "This game made me cry." It's like, on May died and blah blah blah. She's like, "Go to bed."
It's so touching.
It's so touching. Spoilers if I spoiled the Spider-Man video game if anybody played it, but by now. But these games, and I just got the PS5, so I managed to
unfortunately, it's only on Sony, y'all.
I mean, I got it. I got the PS5. The joint is charging right now, but like I'm playing it, how it's meant to be played, and it's a whole different experience playing it on PS4 than you are playing on PS5. And
word.
It's a way different experience. Like
because PS5 has straight 4K, right?
PS5 has 4K.
You don't have to up-res it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because
so that does kind of change the game a little bit.
It just the way the flow is different. Yeah, it's the same game, but the vibration is different. The way that the screen moves is different, and the way that it loads, there's no loading times on the PS5 versus you have in the PS4. So, just the way to play. And my point is, Insomniac has done really good work with these video games, and also they got the Wolverine video game coming out too, which is another thing.
And they did a reveal for that trailer where I do think that reveal trailer is a little long.
Yeah,
but it does look great. Like it's when you see like the actual detail in the if you're watching like the 4K version of the trailer, like when you see the detail, you're just like, man. Video games. Yeah. I say every year or so, I'll be like, yo, man, we getting closer and closer. Like, even in the Spider-Man Miles Morales game, the biggest problem I had with the shots that were all the cutscenes were probably like lip syncing, and then we still haven't crossed the barrier where it looks like people have weight, like gravity. Like when they're like moving around or running or something like that. But like we're very close. Like even the eyes are looking much better because it used to be like the dead eyes.
Yeah, where it's just like
dead raccoon eyes.
I mean, but like they've done a great job. Even spoilers for Miles Morales, Spider-Man. But even have you played it?
Yeah, well, I haven't played it, but I've watched the movie. I am not buying a PlayStation. Now, Sony, if you want to send a PlayStation 5 over to NERDSoul Studios, feel free. I will definitely take it and play the game. But I'm not buying a PS5. All right?
Bro, I will say it. I said the same damn thing, and then I got a PlayStation 5.
My little brother is a PS5 head. I used to play Xbox, and then I went PC, and I never turned back. I'll be honest.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like once I started playing PC, I was just like, nah, I'm cool.
Bro, like I got the PlayStation 5, but I was like, I immediately regretted it. I regretted it because I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because my boy bought it for me, and I paid him back. But I was like, oh, this is a lot of money. Why did I just drop this kind of money on this game system? Bro, I opened that package, I plugged that joint in, and I have not looked back since. I have not looked, bro. I ain't gonna
front. The Spider-Man game or Spider-Man games were fresh. Even before they were proprietary, I think wasn't the first Spider-Man game that was kind of like in this style. I think it was also on Xbox, like way back. I think there was one that was also on Xbox like way back, but that's like super old Spider-Man. But like, man, when I look at the game, sometimes I'll be like, all right, they're making a pretty strong case.
Bro,
they're making a pretty strong case.
I will say, okay, so I bought this game. Okay, this is different, but I bought this game called A Plague Tale Innocence. I just downloaded it when I opened the package, right? Because I have PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
Bro, this game I am addicted to this game. I went to Atlanta last week. I spent half of my trip being like, I gotta get back to LA to play this game because I left my PlayStation here. But like,
He's like, I gotta get back.
I gotta get back. I gotta get back. I got a job, but I gotta get back and play this game though. But I mean, I'm a PS5 ad. Well, I'll say that. But anyways, the reveal trailers look dope. I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I heard rumors. People think like somewhere Kraven's in the video game.
Yeah, because in the Spider-Man trailer, you hear a character essentially sounding like Kraven,
Right.
that's talking about Spider-Man. And then when they beat that character up, that doesn't look like Kraven, but that doesn't mean they can't change his appearance. Then we see Venom, which will be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Honestly, I'm surprised they're doing Venom this early. I thought that would be like a fourth game thing, not a third game thing. So,
well, maybe what they're thinking is third game we bring in Venom as the villain. Fourth game we bring in Carnage as the villain and allow you to play as Venom in a DLC or something like that. And that could be cool. Maybe like give you a little bit of like a Venom storyline on a DLC.
Yeah,
that could be cool. I've never been super down with Venom, but I did enjoy at least reading what I did read of Venom Space Knight. I remember they did like a version of him as a like kind of like out in space, kind of like cowboying it up, and it was just cool because he was in a completely different atmosphere. And this is before they did the whole like symbiote wars and stuff, everything like that. Now, real quick, what is it? Brian says, it's crazy how Marvel have one up in the video game department where DC used to be years ago. Well, before we get to the next game I want to talk about with Marvel, will be the last game, which is DC did do the fandom where they showed the Bat Family game that they got, which I am interested in.
Me too.
And hopefully it'll be available on PC so I can play it. I think they had a Steam logo up there. It's been so long since I watched that trailer. Because they had like a 8-minute walkthrough trailer. I can't remember the name of that game. Let's see. What is the name of the game? It's coming out. Gotham Knights. That's what it is.
Yeah,
so Gotham Knights, and I don't know when it's projected to drop, but that should put DC back in the game to a certain degree because it did look great. Like the walkthrough they had, I was completely down for it. So that should put them back in the game. But there's one game that Marvel showed that I'm not too keen. I like the idea, but I don't like how it's done.
Which game?
Marvel Midnight Suns.
What's your issue with it?
It's a turn-based card game. And it's like, if you want to make a card game, just make a card game. I would when you have all these characters together, finally on a supernatural kind of game, I'd rather play it in the style of Spider-Man or like Arkham Knights or something like that than play it like this. I don't want to do a turn-based kind of like RPG style. I don't want to do that. Like just let 4 people be able to play online in the same style that you would play Spider-Man. And that'll be dope. Because they got like, I think they got like 13 characters to choose from. You got like Strange, Nico, Magic, Wolverine, not Black Panther, Blade, Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, and I can't remember who else. But there's a good amount of people in there. I'm like, these are some cool characters. Oh, when I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so much fun to play. And then they show the gameplay trailer, and you can look up there the downvotes from the trailer to the gameplay trailer. So vast difference. Because I'm sure people were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be sweet. It's gonna be like Arkham Knights or Spider-Man or something like that. And then they're like, hold up, this is like a turn-based RPG card game? what? I don't want to do that. I want to, Wolverine chooses slash, and then you like press the button, and then Wolverine goes slash, and he like walks back. I don't want to do that. No, I want to play a real game. All right. If it's a card game, make a card game. People enjoy the card game. They enjoy card games. But the people that are playing video games, they want to play a video game, man.
I mean,
I digress.
Okay. Yes, guys, I'm gonna start calling you Rantin Mike, or I gotta come up with some more creative. I gotta call you so creative, like Mr. Rantin Mike or something like that. I gotta give you like a Wu-Tang era like nickname for your rants. But anyways, but yeah, okay. I don't know too much about the Midnight Suns video game. That said, I will plead the fifth. I will not say jack about this game until I see more about it, because I really don't know about it. I will say though, as an RPG, Ghost Rider would be fire to play with. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ghost, okay, I see with the, yeah, but I really just want to be, I still want to be free to do those combos and stuff. All the cool combos that you see Spider-Man doing, I want to be able to like have Robbie Reyes come in swinging those like, I can't think of the name of the weapon that's on the tip of the chains, but then coming through doing some cool combo, throwing somebody up, ripping them apart or something like that, and doing the soul stare and all that. I want to do those combos and moves, but with that said, guys, I'll jump on the last comment from Andre Atkins. Said Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yeah, that was the other one they did. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is like one that I think, if done right, could supplant all the Marvel stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? It could say, hey, Marvel, you don't know what you're talking about. So we'll see. I'm definitely interested in Gotham Knights. I'm definitely interested in that one. Suicide Squad a little less so, but we'll see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we have exercised and exhausted all the demons. Any last words? What else do we have?
Have we existed all the demons? We did not talk about Shang-Chi.
Oh,
real quick.
Because I reviewed it already. My bad. Sorry. I don't know your thoughts though. Where are you at on your boy Shang-Chi?
I loved it. Bro. During that third act, my jaw dropped. I was like, I'm
glad you're here. So people that love this movie can get that energy.
Wait, you didn't like it?
I thought it was middle of the road. I thought Black Widow and Shang-Chi were both middle of the road, and I think Marvel could have done better, especially going into the fourth phase. Like, we're supposed to be building movies up, and neither of these movies excite me enough to want to watch them a second time. And we shouldn't. I feel like these movies are too expensive for me to feel that way, and we're too far in the franchise to be having movies like, because we're, of course, since you're going up, you're like, oh snap, what's next? And Black Widow, I was like, man, I don't know. I think we should have already had this, but I watch it, I'm like, it's okay. And then I watch Shang-Chi, and I'm just like, it's okay. And it's weird because then on the TV side, I'm like, yo, Marvel killing it for me. So I don't know. So that's why I say Eternals better. I think I said it on Instagram, but Eternals better. Look, y'all got a lot of work. Y'all gotta dig yourselves out the hole. And I feel like y'all ain't gonna be able to do it. But that's a lot. The TV is hotness though.
Okay. Here's the thing though. The way that they've been treating Eternals, because there's been such a discourse about, because Shang-Chi has like 45 days in theaters, right? And afterwards it goes to Disney Plus. I think that's the deal, right? There's been so much hinging on Shang-Chi, because Eternals pretty much was like the movie that was gonna, like, Shang-Chi was the movie that Eternals was gonna be based off how Shang-Chi performed. Eternals, the Disney release is going to be determined if they were going to do like hybrid release or not. So COVID, the way that they've been treating Eternals based on the rollout, the trailers, marketing rollout. They had this whole spread in entertainment really that was really powerful. I think Eternals will be something special. Also, by the way that they're marketing with like Academy Award winning director, he's out. That I think Eternals might be that movie because they held Eternals too. Okay. Remember, they held pretty much everything. So they held everything.
Trailer looks a lot better. Looks a lot better than the first one.
And also you got cats. You got Salma Hayek, Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, Brian Tyree. You got all.
There's mad people in this joint that should.
There's mad people with Gemma Chan. They brought Gemma Chan back after Captain Marvel.
But it worries me. This is something that worries me. Could this be, for our baseball fans, could this be a New York Yankees situation where on paper we've spent all the money, but then you still can't win a championship? Like, is that one of them situations? Because on paper, we got all the actors, all right? We got all the actors. And we got the director. We spent the money. Are we going to like it? That's
bro. I'm gonna quote Will Smith, Prince, and my brother. You want to take this outside? That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, you got me going there. I see your grit. Okay, but anyways, me and you gonna have to talk offline about the Shang-Chi because the Shang actually kind of straight. I'm just gonna say that.
They killed his dad.
Why'd you spoil it? Why'd you just spoil it?
Sorry, because my bad. I already did a spoiler review. Sorry. My bad. No more spoilers. There's people that I wanted to keep, and there's storylines that I thought were more important than other storylines. There's a certain person they bring up when I literally was like, hold the phone. Did we just stop the movie for this? So, oh man, Shang-Chi could have been dope.
It was dope.
For me, sorry, pardon me. But it ended up being okay. And with that said, there's another question to be asked, I guess, zeitgeist-wide. Is it okay if these movies are just okay? Or do all of these movies have to be like billion-dollar, blockbuster, best movie I've seen in my life, oh my God, I can finally die now kind of movies? Or is it okay if they're just okay? Or maybe it'll grow on me. Like when I first saw Han Solo, I was like, it's just okay. But the more I've watched it, I actually like the Solo film more. So, because when I first saw it, I was just like, it's okay. But then I tweeted out, I had like a little thread where I was like, is it okay for Star Wars movies to just be okay? And then there is that voice from my little brother in my head saying, these movies cost too much to not be good. So, and it's true. Think about it. You spending hundreds of millions of dollars and you come away like, it's all right. That's a lot of money to spend for that.
See, but also making a movie is not as easy as just being like, you have a script, you have money, you have cast, go make a movie. Because if that was the case, every movie would be great. Every movie, here's what. Okay, you're gonna make me reference Arrested Development right now. Here's your money. Go make a Star Wars. But like, yes, I did. Thank you. Anyways, but I'm just saying it's not as easy as just 1, 2, 3. Put some money in a pot. You're gonna make your money.
It's right? Like put money in the story and some actors. The director.
It's not the Powerpuff Girl. It's not the Powerpuff Girl where you add
the oven on 350 for about an hour.
Nice. And then you get Chemical X, and then you get the Powerpuff Girls. You got me referencing a bunch of mess tonight because I'm just in that mood. But I'm just saying. But I thought Shang-Chi was dope. Black Widow, I like things that they did with Black Widow, but I'm not going to talk about Black Widow on here because I have a lot of thoughts on it that I'll be here until 11 o'clock tonight. You got me doing my Denzel actions right now. But anyway. Tonight. But anyways, like I really do think Shang-Chi was a strong showing. I thought it was strong. And also Simu, I think he did a really, really good job.
He was solid. He was solid in it.
I think he was good. And like, I feel you about the thing with Wenwu. Because that I was like, all right, but also I think between talking about
I think I got it.
What you got?
These last two movies, for me, seem to fall back into phase 1 tropes. And I thought we were past that.
You just picked up about what I was about to say.
That's what's wrong with me with these.
So that's what I'm saying. But also, I think in that kind of makes sense because post Endgame, now they're trying to figure out where to go next. They've had their plan for phase 1 through 3, which is why most of those movies were strong. And now we're moving into phase 4 where they're setting up the multiverse, which is a whole thing in itself.
Like I said, comics is convoluted. It's about to get wild in here.
They're literally right after No Way Home comes out, it's pretty much fair game from anything else on. So we've got Loki, we've had little bits and pieces. When No Way Home's out, it's going to be off the races. So it's like I'd rather like these simple movies that I got now because once No Way Home comes out, things are going to get a lot more complicated. And that's where you're going to really start to see a pivot between people who have liked the MCU so far and follow along to be doing diehards too, because all these things are going to have to interconnect. But I really think why Shang-Chi, which is why like there's a lot of discourse between like not only What If, but also Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision. Yeah, I'm bringing the TV stuff, but also Brad too, because some of them ain't hit, some of them have it. So it's like it's very much they're trying to figure out. Now, that's not to say that, I agree with you that, even though that they're expensive, all movies in theory, you would like them to be good, but they're not just going to be right. So I just think we've seen it. We saw with Rise of Skywalker. And I even like parts of Rise of Skywalker, but
that's another highly, man, if you want to talk about rushed, but they painted themselves in their own corner by not having a plan. And Rise of Skywalker in Star Wars, because I love Star Wars. So
I didn't know you were a Star Wars fan like that. But
I love Star Wars, but they painted themselves into a corner, which we kind of already called. Then your boy JJ comes out and like, all right, guys, we didn't have a plan. We're like, we knew that. We knew that when Last Jedi came out. We knew y'all had no plan.
I didn't see that.
He had an article. Somebody in the chat let us know. It was sometime last year where JJ Abrams was like, paraphrasing, but he was like, hey guys, we know how the new trilogy went, but we didn't really have a plan. And like everybody was like, we knew that. We said that when Last Jedi came out. Even though I like Last Jedi much more than Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker is like, okay, y'all painted yourselves into a corner and y'all are just rushing to get out. Okay, all right. That's how I felt about it. But for him to come out and be like, oh, well, we didn't have a plan. It's like, thank you. Because I'm sure there's many screenwriters, directors, and whatever that would love to take a chomp at this story. And y'all gave us this stuff. And then to see what was the script? The script leak that, was it Chris Terrio was going to do? I can't remember who was going to do it. But they leaked the script of someone who was going to do it, based off of what Rian Johnson had already done in Last Jedi. And I was like, oh, snap, you know what? Given what was already given to this last screenwriter, this works. This is way better than what we saw in the theater. And that's why Rise of Skywalker ends up being in the mid territory for me. Like, it's highly mid when it shouldn't be. It's beautiful. There's some cool moments, but then you're like, story-wise, you're like, y'all painted yourselves into a corner. Y'all should have just said, all right, look, I know we love this trilogy thing, but we're doing 2 more movies. Let's just do 2 more. Because now JJ, the person that left because of criticism, is now being brought back to kind of like do the story that he already wanted to do in the first place, which was just bring back the Emperor one more time, which I'm not even really against.
I'm even
but when it's forced into one movie, I'm like, dude, we are rushing through this plot. Like I'm not saying I'm not saying I want a slow movie, even though there's some good ones like Prisoners. If you can take it, Prisoners is a good movie. But y'all were going light speed through this script. You're like, let's just finish it. Let's just finish it. Star Wars will be over.
Got off on a tangent, but
yes,
we've
been on a point.
Well, yeah. Well, anyways, I think we have exercised it, but also I know I haven't been around for the last couple weeks, but I just gotta say it. Rest in peace. Okay, Williams. That really that hit me hard, bro. Like, yeah, you have no idea. But yeah, we've exercised.
Surprising and sad and also 50 Cent is whack, as we always knew.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but with that said, guys, shouts to Captain Jack, Jenna James, Antoine Allen. Antoine Allen and Andrea Atkins and Brian. Let me see if I can not screw up your last name. Muyenzi? If I said it right, just hit me with a thumbs up. If I said it wrong, just hit me with a frowny face and my bad. Keith from Blurtish, and I think Eon 001 came through, but I might have missed his name. So I'm going to give the floor over to an esteemed gentleman. This man has flown 162 combat missions. This man has gone. This man is not only a Green Beret, but a Navy SEAL and also a Rambo level hand-to-hand combat technician. I give you the Top Chef winning Clement Bryant.
I just need to pause for a second because you again lie.
But it's such an interesting life, though, man.
No more lies. No, there should be no more lies. Okay, there should be none. Okay. Anyways, Twitter, Instagram at Clement Bryant. Follow me. Health, fitness, bodybuilding, movies, marketing, all that kind of stuff. Do not listen to this man's lies. He is a fraud. Sorry, I've been watching Suits.
Anyway. Oh, I'm a fraud. Hey, so, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, or down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, all right, I'm going to send the one and only Palpatine after you. All right? He's going to be old and crusty, but he's still going to be evil with electricity power. So you just want to hit that thumbs up. Go in and subscribe. Share this to your folks. We got podcasts for listening. We got Spotify for music. From us to you, we're saying thank you for watching. Check out some of this P.L. Parker Lewis hotness. And peace. All right.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Parker Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all get hunger pain. Peace.